Oh, now we're live.
And we are live. Hey everyone, welcome to the Civil Offense Sunday stream. This is the third one we've done so far, and we've got two beautiful gentlemen in here today. Pause. We've got our boy Ancat back. What's up, Ancat?
Damn, didn't realize you were a fucking fag. Sorry.
Okay, and we've got our boy Greg.
Hello.
Yeah, what an intro right there. But hopefully, we don't have any gays here. So because when you're eating red meat, how is that even possible?
That's actually true.
Bro, someone's been LARPing more than me lately. I'll just say that.
Whoa. Let's not get into that. Okay. So basically today, the inspiration behind the stream was that my boy Greg and I, not Ancat, because, obviously we got to feed him some meat real quick, pause, have been eating red meat and the animal-based diet for most of this year. And we've been pretty happy with the results. So we're actually going to go over that. And then we've got Ancat, who's more of a guy that's on the normie side of diet, I suppose, like a little bit over there. I've kind of suggested some things he could be eating throughout the day that would actually make him better off than what he was eating before. Maybe I could ask you a little bit about how much you're sticking to that when we actually get into it. But I was thinking that Greg and I could actually go over how we got to this point in the first place, maybe for people that are vegan or unfortunately, if you're watching the stream, vegetarian or just pretty much normie processed food eaters. So me personally, I mean, I started around, I would say like end of last year. I had before that gone on keto a couple times, like for a couple months, like not in a row, just 1 month here and then 1 month there. And I was pretty much like, okay, well, yeah, carbs are the problem. That's why I'm losing weight when I'm doing keto and I'm actually finding myself better off. But at the end of last year, I was kind of like, well, what if I just cut out processed foods? Like I'll still eat, carbs, here and there, but what if I just cut out the really bad stuff? Like what if I don't eat oatmeal for breakfast? And what if I don't, because even then I was kind of more red pilled on oatmeal. I was like, well, this doesn't seem like it's probably the best breakfast to start out with. Like, I want more eggs. I knew I wanted more meat, even though I was probably eating more like chicken than beef. If anything, I was eating ground beef still. But I actually did find some better results cutting most of that out when that happened, like end of last year. And then after that, I was kind of like, well, what more could I be doing? Like I kind of wanted to learn some more about diet. And I remember Greg and I were in a server with this one guy and we were asking him what he eats. And he was saying, oh, well, all I eat is like meat, eggs, and dairy. And we were like, bro, how are your arteries not blocked up? Like, how are you all right? And so with that, I was kind of like, okay, well, maybe there's something to look into here because at the time I was still trying to eat more like beef, but I'd eat like broccoli with it and I'd eat like certain vegetables and like nuts. Like after a workout, I'd eat some nuts, pause. And I was like, all right, so I'm getting protein from that. I'm getting minerals and all that, vitamins. But I looked into Saladino more because I had found his content and he was talking about the animal-based diet. And he was saying, well, actually, and I found his bullshit list online. He has this like bullshit Paul Saladino MD list that I found. And he talks about how vegetables actually are a problem. And I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean? He said they have defense chemicals in them. And at the time I was like, wait, what? And the explanation for it is, well, actually plants don't want to be eaten, at least not the ones that don't have like seeds in them, like fruits that you'll eat and then spread around that actually do want to be eaten. But like most plants actually don't want to be eaten. And their only way of fighting back against predators is really just having chemicals in them that deter the predators from eating them. So I was like, okay, well, this actually does sort of make sense. So I started cutting out more vegetables out of my diet. I started cutting out like nuts. Like he has so many things on the list that are just things that you probably shouldn't be eating. And I was doing it little by little, really. But at some point in this year, I actually just started full on pretty much just eating meat, eggs, like mostly red meat, like a little bit of chicken, like fish, like maybe once a week, and like a lot of dairy, milk, yogurt, all that. And I just feel so much better because of it. And I mean, really, like a lot of the problems I've had like from processed foods have gone away. Like my skin's been a lot clearer. Muscle growth is actually a lot better because red meat has like creatine in it. It has other amino acids and vitamins in it that are just so much more bioavailable than vegetables and any other food really that are actually preventing absorption of minerals. And yeah, so I mean, since then I've been pretty much at this point. I don't know if you want to take it over from there, Greg, because or actually before I mention anything else or before I let you go on. I actually went to my doctor recently because I was wondering what my cholesterol numbers would be like, and I had this friend that was like, "Bro, you're gonna die." Like it was my boy Christian, the one that was on the stream last time with Thomas Sheedy. He was in the background, and he was like, "Bro, you're gonna get your arteries clogged. Like, you got to get to your doctor. You need to have a test. And Paul actually, Saladino says he has like high cholesterol when he actually goes to the doctor, but he's not afraid of that. Or when he gets blood work, I suppose that's what he does. I don't know that he actually goes to the doctor. He is one, but me personally, I did go to the doctor, and he said my cholesterol was fine. He's like, actually, these numbers are good. These are really good, and I'm eating saturated fat every day. So, but yeah, Greg, what's your take on this?
Yeah, so I was kind of on the, I guess, normie kind of diet train. I figured, eat a lot of vegetables, eat a lot of nuts, pause, that kind of stuff. Limit red meat because it kills you and so on. Only use vegetable oils, and that's but it wasn't really until I met our mutual buddy where he started saying all these things about, vegetables are actually really bad for you, except for a few of them. And, the idea of eating only meat, dairy, and so on, that I started to look into it. And I still even really wasn't convinced up until another buddy of ours mentioned something about seed oils in particular. And from there, my buddy Ahmed, yours truly over here, he sent me a few videos from Paul Saladino, and slowly but surely I kind of started like binge watching a lot of his content, and I went through his bullshit list, and I started seeing what he was saying and tried it just as kind of maybe there's something here, maybe there's not. If not, I'll try it out and see if anything happens. And over time, I did start like slowly feeling some differences in the way my body felt, and mental clarity and so on. And even going to the gym felt a bit easier, just from cutting out certain things. And now I'm pretty much as my wallet and or circumstances allows me to, I'm on like what he calls the animal-based diet pretty much full time. And if I do eat vegetables or anything like that, it does actually noticeably impact me more than it usually does, since I'm on a diet that doesn't have them now. And then actually today, I mentioned this, I went to a restaurant that most definitely cooks in seed oils, and I had vegetables of it too. So my stomach, of course, was feeling pretty messed up. And then I got home and I made myself something high in protein, some eggs, high in dairy, some fruit, some honey. And now my stomach feels pretty fine. So, I mean, I know it's an anecdote, but I mean, if anything, it's just proving my point from my perspective.
Saturated fat as well, because I saw this post from Carnivore Aurelius on Twitter, and he was saying basically that there was this study he was posting that said when you go out drinking, basically, or if you're drinking alcohol in general, one thing that can actually protect you from a lot of the negative effects is saturated fat. And pretty much if you're eating that at that time, it actually, well, I don't know exactly how it works or what it's protecting there. I mean, I guess like the membranes of your cells, and I would assume there's just some sort of like helping in the gut. But basically, like, you don't have as many negative effects as opposed to if you were to drink and then eat seed oils when you're drinking, which a lot of people, they'll go out and they'll eat like, things just fried absolutely in seed oils when they're drinking. And that's a habit because when you're going out, you're going to a restaurant and that's pretty much what they serve. So obviously, like, it would kind of make sense that, especially here, because like there is so many foods fried in that. I don't know exactly what people are eating when they're in other countries, like when they're out drinking, like Europe. But at Carnivore Aurelius, I've seen some things where basically he's saying like, why is it that people over there can actually go a lot longer, like drinking and partying and all this, and not feel the same way that people are actually feeling here, and not be as obese and so on and so forth. And I mean, the common link seems to be like at least like the overconsumption of seed oils, which I mean, it's pretty easy to overconsume them because you really shouldn't be. But I mean, I don't necessarily know that they're eating too much saturated fat in Europe, but it kind of does make sense that this would be the case based on that.
To my knowledge, I believe like the northern portion of Europe, I mean, this is kind of like the stereotype, they use a lot of butter more than any other part of the world. And then like countries like Spain, Greece, southern France, Italy, they use a lot of olive oil. And while olive oil isn't a saturated fat, it's not high in polyunsaturated fats, which seed oils are. So
Right.
that might be an impact on there.
Yeah, not as much linoleic acid as other oils. So yeah, it actually would make sense. And I'd assume, like, do you know much about the anti-inflammatory qualities? Because I've heard about that.
Not so much I mean, I've just heard that it's anti-inflammatory. I haven't looked too much into it exactly, but I don't know. I feel fine.
Yeah, well, my thing with that is actually, I was going to mention this. I quit coffee, and I was going to go into the little story of why, but before that, I actually wanted to say, funny thing, I was telling my dad, like, it's inflammatory. That's why I'm not drinking. And he's like, really? I heard it's anti-inflammatory. So it could just be that sort of thing where like you hear one thing, but it's actually the other. I don't know. But pretty much the coffee thing is actually something that took me way longer than the rest of it. And is actually something you were on my case on for a while. You're like, bro, why are you drinking coffee? Like we would hang out and you're like, bro, why are you drinking coffee? Like that doesn't make sense. And the thing with that is that, yeah, exactly. Like it's something that I just hung on to because I had that habit of drinking it every day. And then like, if I stop drinking it, I actually get a headache. And I was like, okay, well, this is a problem maybe that I actually do need to resolve, but I'll take care of it another time because I don't really need to worry about it too much. There shouldn't be too much issue with it or anything, but something I was, looking up because I actually did see Paul Saladino talking to somebody about it. And he's like, well, I've seen him talk about it multiple times, but then I just saw him finally like talking about, I think it was like some keto guy or what was it? He was like saying like, finally I found somebody else that doesn't drink coffee, and they were talking about their experiences with it. And then the guy he was talking to was saying, well, actually, when I drank when I stopped drinking coffee, I actually stopped feeling sore when I was working out. And then one day, like, I drank it and then I actually did feel sore. And he was actually talking as well about this other guy he knew. Like this guy was talking about a guy he knew that he was saying like, okay, you won't get sore actually if you're sticking to like carnivore, which is what he was saying. And the guy was like, all right. He sticks to it. He doesn't get sore from exercise, but then he gets handed like a cup of coffee at this like office or something that they're at. The guy drinks it, and like 20 minutes later, he's like, man, I'm feeling sore now from that workout. And then he's like, well, what's with that? And the carnivore guy's like, well, look at what you're drinking. And the guy was drinking coffee. So I was like, okay, maybe there's something to this. Maybe I actually like, well, I knew there was, but I was like, maybe I actually do need to stop because maybe the effects are more than I notice. And honestly, the first week was pretty easy. Like I didn't have to really go hard at it or anything, like suffer too many consequences, because I was actually lowering my caffeine pretty much, like drinking like a little bit less than a cup every once in a while, and then drinking like half a cup some days, drinking like only a little bit, like a little bit more than a few sips, but it was quite a bit. And then I finally, like after like a week, I was like, wow, like this actually feels pretty good. And now that it's been like what, like 3 weeks or something, I don't know exactly how long it's been, but I don't really feel like any tension in my back like I did before. Like my back isn't as tense. It's actually feeling pretty good. I used to feel like I have to crack it a lot. Let's see. Chris V, what's up? Caffeine bad for you, my boy. It's true. Well, I mean, coffee itself is like a seed, so I'm sure that's what more so was actually causing the inflammation. I don't know too much about caffeine itself. I know that the problem with caffeine is that actually it messes with your sleep more so, and the quarter life of caffeine is what what was it, 6 hours or something? Do you know that number? I don't know what it was. Or was
No, I don't really pay attention to
it was something like that. Pretty much that like or I think it was 12 hours for the actual quarter life of it. Meaning that like by the time you go to bed, it's still going to mess with the sleep architecture, and it's going to mess with your circadian rhythm. So it's actually never good for a good night's sleep. And now I'm sleeping actually a lot better. So yeah, pretty much it's proven that caffeine is just also gonna, no matter what, mess with your sleep, which Saladino also said that when he was talking about it. And I found by myself, testing by myself, that it was true. Now that we've talked about all that, I know I haven't let Ancat speak much, but I was actually gonna ask your opinions on diet itself. And hold on, we got Chris V saying cold showers for that natural caffeine. Now, cold showers, real quick, I just think are not the best thing actually, because what you're doing, especially after a workout, I don't know about like before the workout itself, but if it's after a workout, you actually could be hurting your gains because you're not allowing I guess the blood flow is being restricted, but also I've heard that apparently the inflammation itself is actually good to an extent to have. So I don't know, you could be affecting the way your muscles are growing if you're doing that. But yeah,
Plus,
Ancat,
plus hot showers are just amazing.
Well, I don't take like scalding hot showers. I take like warm.
Yeah, but like warm,
Yeah.
warm to hot. I take pretty hot showers, but
I don't think that's really good for your skin either. But
Really?
I used to. Yeah, no.
It's
Well,
not,
it's not.
no.
It's not. It's not like burning, but it's like, it's like in between, like in between medium and the hottest your shower head can go.
The places on my body I've noticed hot showers are worse for, I know that sounds kind of strange, are my face and my scalp. Those two, like if the cooler the water, the better for those two places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
with regards to diet, like I've always kind of felt the same way with coffee and energy drinks. I don't really, even when I was younger, I always sort of looked down on it, only in the sense that I always was of the opinion that they don't really help with your sleep. They just make it so you can't really live without it. And that's what I've noticed, because I just started noticing that kind of behavior with a lot of people around me who drank coffee. And also I just never liked the taste of it as well. So I just wanted to be able to get up naturally in the morning without having to rely on it. And it's the same thing why I kind of cut out I've never used energy drinks. I don't really drink sodas. I don't
Soda.
really soda. Yeah. I don't drink alcohol at all or smoke or anything like
Rip.
that either. So I mean, honestly, with those things, huh?
Unfortunate.
It's not good for you.
Well, no, it
Buyer
isn't good
beware.
for you, and that's actually, I guess, the one quote unquote diet thing I guess I have above you guys. But with regards to everything
Oh,
else, yeah, huh?
it's a
The
leaderboard
allegations are
now.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a we're taking points here. But yeah, all I was gonna say is that yeah, I've been following your advice in the sense that I've just been trying to get away from processed foods in general because that's kind of been one of the things that I've been noticing has been inhibiting me, especially with regards to sleep. I've been noticing that especially with my old work schedule, I used to, get home at like 10 or 11, and then because I didn't have anything to eat at work, I would just be hungry and eat right before bed. And the food that I was eating previously wasn't as great either. So I kind of just, I would wake up in the morning and I'd be like, oh shit, why am I waking up with 6 hours of sleep, or sorry, 8 hours of sleep and still feeling awful? And then I realized, oh shit, maybe it's my maybe it's my fucking diet. So I cut that out. I basically started only eating like you said, I switched to just eating eggs in the morning. Um, Sometimes I would have like cereal as well, but the cereal I would have would mainly just be like I don't know, like grape nuts or some shit like that. Not anything
Oh,
processed. What? Yeah. No, but so yeah, I mean, I've definitely noticed, I think just from cutting out processed foods, I feel like is sort of the big thing that I think a lot of people tend to like over. My only opinion on diets is I think that a lot of people tend to overcomplicate diets, and really getting on them. But I've noticed that really the biggest thing that is really just you're gonna notice the improvement is just cutting out processed foods. Like that's really like the biggest only thing that I mean, obviously not the only thing, but one of like the big things that I think people just don't really take into consideration. It's just the processed foods for the most part. That's like really gonna be fucking up your diet.
I mean, that is number one for sure. But I mean, like coffee, for an example, is technically not a processed food, though the processing of it can be a problem when it gets moldy.
Yeah.
It's old coffee, it's actually going to affect you worse than fresh coffee, even though there's still negative effects to coffee in general. But I mean, I think like the processed food things is I think people underestimate it, if anything, even though they talk about processed foods, because it doesn't really matter what you're getting from the store that isn't something fresh like an animal or fruit or something like that. You're pretty much just getting something that is necessarily processed. I mean, even something with like flour in it, like grains, like pretty much any of that.
the
Hmm.
thing is too, a lot of those processed foods have a ton of seed oils in them. It's not like, oh, they have some soybean oil, but if you look at the back of the box or whatever it is and look at the ingredients, it's soybean oil, it's canola oil, it's flaxseed oil, it's everything. So I mean, you're indirectly, even if you're not cooking in seed oils, getting it from your processed foods as well.
Right. And I
Soy.
mean, look at like the ingredients of like Fruit Loops or something, like you do see that sort of thing if you just need an example. I don't know exactly what the recipe for grape nuts is as far as what they have in them. I don't know if they have any of that, but I know, I mean, like any cereal is going to have flour in it, which grains could be a problem for the gut. But it's good that
It's
you're
just
eating
like
eggs.
it's just like a condensed version of like, I don't know, bran flakes or whatever.
Yeah,
Kind of
it
like
is good
that.
that you're starting your day with eggs, because that really is good. Do you cook them in butter?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
that's
don't
good.
use
That's good.
oil.
Based.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we were talking about seed oils in my I think that was my Discord the other day, and there was this one guy who was saying like pretty much like, because I had a problem with polyunsaturated fats, and he was saying like, well, there are some that are good for you, and when I said that like they're a problem, it's like, well, yeah, I'm specifically more so talking about the omega-6 linoleic acid, which we discussed earlier, is like what is most present in seed oils. And then I mean, like omega-3s you can already get like a good amount from tallow, eggs, and fish, which are all animal-based sources. So you don't really need any other foods that are like probably going to have other effects just because of other things within them for those omega-3s. So like polyunsaturated fats is something that like you don't need as much as you need like saturated fat in reality. I mean, like, yeah, it is good to have the omega-3s though. So I mean, vegetables, Ancat. I don't know, like maybe you have some questions about what we were talking about with that, like because I was saying like there are defense chemicals in them. I don't know, like do you view vegetables as something healthy to eat?
Well, I used to until because I hadn't really heard the you shouldn't eat vegetables take like unironically. So I'm not really that familiar with it at all. I'm not really much of a dietitian at all, so I'm not really as far as the latest literature and because I know when it comes to dietitians argue almost as much as libertarians online. So as far as like which side am I on, I don't really have one. So I mean, maybe I'm more appealed to, I guess, your side in the sense of just because I guess I trust you more. But
Yeah.
and I'm willing to at least try it.
Yeah.
So with regards to me switching up to a more meat based and and egg and fruit diet, I don't know if the more positive change is coming from just me cutting out the you know the saturated foods, or specifically from the diet itself. So it's not really I don't really have like a control variable to test for myself yet. But yeah, as far as the vegetable thing, I think probably I can sort of be the foil for the normie audience. And sort of ask you guys why you guys think vegetables are not something that you should be eating in your diet.
Yeah.
There's no
So
macros.
right, there are really no macros to them, and what you're getting from them is a lot of fiber, and you do not need fiber in your diet. It's not something that's important to actually have. When
Do you say
there's
macros?
I
What's that?
did.
macronutrients, as in like
Oh, okay.
carbohydrates, protein,
Protein, fat,
yeah,
or
and fat.
fat, yeah.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, like, okay, yeah, vegetables, like people hail them as these important things to have because look at all these like vitamins and stuff they have in them. But the problem with vegetables is that they could actually be harming you with things like oxalates, which are very present in things like kale, spinach, even nuts. Even though like we're not just talking about vegetables, but the thing is with those is that like they can cause kidney stones when eaten in excess. They can have other potential problems just as far as like these vegetables in general can be harming the what is it vitamin absorption, and like fiber in general you don't actually need it because like I was saying, like there was this study done where they were checking what the effects are on the body when you have high fiber versus a little bit of fiber versus no fiber. And what they actually found was that a lot of people that were having bowel issues or bowel movement issues were actually finding a lot more success with less fiber. And the thing with it is that what fiber does when you're actually digesting is really just make more crap. It doesn't really do anything other than that. But what you're seeing there is pretty much just that, like, it's not actually something you need a high amount of, if at all. And people just find the most success when they're not eating it. What I did hear though, when Saladino was talking to somebody, I can't remember if it was the keto guy or the carnivore guy, what he was mentioning is that fiber actually could be helpful only in the context of when you're eating processed foods. So the problem is when you're eating processed foods, you're actually getting a lot of junk in your body, and fiber actually blocks absorption of what you're eating. So the thing with it is, technically, like if you're eating food you really shouldn't be, then fiber can actually help you just because it's blocking the things in the food that are bad. But that would also mean it's just blocking what's in the food in general.
Right. So when people when you hear a lot of dietitians say, "Oh, well, got to get your fiber fix," that's just to counteract the shitty processed foods that you're already eating.
Well, I suppose they're not really necessarily thinking of it from this context, but I assume that maybe some of the rationale behind it, I don't know, maybe it's more so that like your bowel movements are easier when you're eating fiber, when you're also eating terrible food, because the terrible food's preventing the bowel movements from
Yeah.
successfully coming out when they're supposed to. So the fiber just pretty much just pushes it out because of all the crap it's creating. And so I think that's more so where they're thinking of it, even if they're not necessarily looking at the core issue of what it is, which if you just look at it is the food you're eating in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I would think it's a matter of, a lot of dietitians say you have to eat vegetables, you have to eat this, that, and the other, grains, and that kind of stuff. They don't know that those foods are bad. So they connect the good results of the fiber in your body with it just being good in general without actually pointing to the source of the issue to begin
Right.
with.
Yeah, I
Good
agree with
point.
that because yeah, exactly. They're recommending you to eat a lot of these foods that aren't really good for you, even though they think, oh yeah, well these things actually are good for you. Like, and which does include a lot of grains and a lot of vegetables.
Okay, so what's the deal with grains? Why are grains a problem? Because I noticed that's one of the big things that Paul, for instance, points out quite a bit.
Yeah, the particular issue with grains is the effect on the gut microbiome. So what you're looking at is like grains actually scrape it on the inside, because like you have like foods like legumes and grains that are doing the scraping in your microbiome and actually mess with its health. So you're actually seeing more issues from like that aspect of it. And when you don't have as healthy of a microbiome, you can actually see skin issues. You can see other issues present in the body. Like the microbiome actually determines a lot of your health throughout your body.
So you guys just straight up don't eat bread, you don't eat pasta, anything like that.
Bread is kind of hard to totally remove if you're eating out a
Yeah,
lot or if you're with friends and whatnot because of just
yeah,
how ingrained in Western culture it is. But for the
ingrained.
most part, if I'm cooking my own, oh god, if I'm making my own thing or food or whatever, I try. Well, I just don't use any bread. But like if it's like I don't know, I'm eating out with friends, I'll get a burger because it's the only thing with beef on the menu or something like that.
Here, I'll
The other
pull
Right.
thing
up.
about grains is that it has a phytic acid, and the thing with phytic
Right.
acid, which is found in I believe all forms of seeds, so legumes, grains, nuts, they there are like a compound or a material or whatever that binds to micronutrients. So like your vitamins, your magnesium, your testosterone, even, and it makes it so that your body can't properly use them, which is another issue. So you like if you start your day with oatmeal, which is another example that Saladino uses a lot, you're starting your day off by just completely draining yourself of all the nutrients you need.
Low T grain users.
Yeah, I mean, like it says on his website, grains are seeds, and all seeds are highly defended by plants. They contain many defense chemicals that will mess with your digestion and hormones. And like Greg mentioned, one of those is phytic acid. And also,
So
he
great
mentions the
for grains.
pesticides.
So
Real
yeah,
quick, he
just
just mentioned the pesticides issue with oatmeal as well, because with oats, you're actually like they're just spraying pesticides on it that actually don't get removed when you're buying it at the store and eating it.
okay. So I have a question as well. So I have a mom who I love very much, who I used to sort of be against her whole organic fix, and you hear the sort of oh, you should buy only organic, buy the organic stuff, don't buy the stuff with pesticides on it, with regards to fruit and vegetables. And I sort of used to like be heavily against her because I sort of used to have the mentality that like buying organic foods was like a lib cuck thing, and I don't know, it's something that a lot of soy boys talk about that doesn't that I always sort of picture that being something that doesn't actually improve the food. If anything, I sort of used to have the idea that pesticides, and I think a lot of anti-organic people um, would have this idea as well, is that pesticides are chemicals that are designed to actually improve the quality, the shitty quality of the natural food with regards to bugs, potential harm that may come from just the food itself, maybe making the food bigger, more plentiful, making food more available for people in lower developing countries. But I've noticed you guys are actually unironically, like full organics when it comes to both, meat and pesticides. So I guess I wanted to know, like, what is the problem ultimately with pesticides, and why are they not a benefit?
Well, the main problem with pesticides is that they disrupt your hormones. Like it's just one of those things in the environment that is messing like with well, specifically I know about like testosterone being an issue that harms that. But yeah, I mean like it's just not healthy for people to be eating it, because the same things that are fighting the things that they're trying to get rid of from like attacking or I guess eating the plants, or also the things that are getting transferred into your body. And even if it's not going to kill you, it's just not going to be good for your health.
Like could you give an example? I mean,
I mean, like one of those things would just be with like oats, like they just get sprayed with pesticides. I don't know necessarily like what the names of what they're using are. It's just I know like when they're spraying it over the fields, like those things just don't just go away.
right. And yeah, and this is like something that I was sort of curious about, just again because I don't think that a lot of people, I guess, think about it. I did want to know though, do you think that like humanity will get to a point where we can start actually chemically engineering the organic food that's grown in the ground, for instance, or animal meat, in a way that doesn't really compromise your actual bodily health? for humans.
Yeah, because right now red meat printing it, or I assume most food that you're like meat printing, like it actually does have negative effects for people. I don't know exactly which. I know Paul has like a short on it that he was talking about it in. I don't remember exactly what it does, but yeah, it's just not great to consume at the moment. I think it was like they can be carcinogenic actually, which is a
Do you
problem
think
because you're trying to avoid cancer when you're eating animal based.
Do you think it could be because typically a lot of these it could be because of the state engineering a lot of these big corporate firms that don't really have any they don't really have any competition with regards to what they actually produce. They're just the only ones allowed to produce these chemicals. And do you think like the FDA and other organizations like that could have a role in keeping the way that we genetically modify plants and animals be unhealthy?
I'm gonna let Greg answer that first because you probably already know my answer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's entirely possible. I don't really know the specifics of what could lead to uh like that kind of thing happening, because you would have to have a state that's aware that what you're eating is garbage, and I'm not entirely convinced that like anybody really knows what's good to eat, because I mean, so many people have different diets, but very few people actually eat animal based. And I mean, obviously I think that's the correct diet, but like I feel like it would have to be a level of just maleficence that I don't think they have the knowledge to do that really.
Well, it's not really for me. It's not really about like, oh, well, they just want to keep everyone soy and not in the gym, Well, where I think that I could sort of see them maybe having an incentive to do that. I don't really think that's the case. I think it could just be more the fact that not coming up with these multinational companies not coming up with healthier ways to genetically modify food and doing it in a more cheap and affordable way, it could just be good for business
Oh, yeah, I guess I could see
to an
that.
extent.
I don't know the specifics of that, so
Yeah,
yeah.
there's definitely a mass production aspect to it because I mean, like
Or just
something.
oh, sorry, just
I was
just
just
one
gonna.
more thing.
Okay,
Oh, go ahead.
no,
Okay,
go
sorry.
first.
Okay, sorry. Just I was just gonna say that yeah, it could also just be that the FDA just doesn't really. It's not that they're not approving these, maybe innovations or shelving things from the patent office because it's gonna get people ripped, and that's gonna subvert us, But it could honestly just be that regulatory bureaucracies as well, lack of funding for certain things. I
I
mean,
was
it could
just
be
gonna
it
say
could be a
like
variety of factors.
factory farming for an example is
Yeah.
something that's an industry, I mean, because created by state standardization, because even Ignis was pointing this out in one debate he was having in another chat. I saw it. He was saying like people would probably find ways to not have to do that. Like it's a lot more sustainable to have a smaller scale, like pasture raised cows and sell those. Like it would actually be make a lot more sense, just not only for health, but like these organizations themselves just really aren't like they're profitable in the sense that like in this context of what the state does to regulate society, but they're not really like the most efficient way of actually delivering food to people. But also like something like with seed oils, like pretty much, I don't know exactly how they got into the diet, but I do know there was like this guy who was set up, not just necessarily like him walking in and saying like this is I need to sue McDonald's, but he actually did sue McDonald's, and he was like led into doing this lawsuit where he got them to stop using tallow to fry the fries in, which is like beef fat, and he pretty much just got it so that like they're now using the quote unquote heart healthy vegetable oils and all that they use. And they actually Saladino, again, he posted a video about McDonald's fries, and he was saying like they have like 19 ingredients in them, and one of them's like a beef flavor when you could just use beef tallow and you could just fry them in that. It's ridiculous. But it's funny to me. But like the thing with that is if you look into that case with that guy, yeah, it wasn't just him suing McDonald's because he had a heart problem because of them and he knew that it was the tallow. It's like this is what they guided him into doing, and he was just this like face of the case. So I mean, maybe it makes sense that the state actually did want companies to start just using seed oils because like it's way cheaper, and even if it's not good for you and you really shouldn't be consuming them and it's pretty much just eating like engine oil, they're like, well, it makes sense to just be feeding people this instead because there's no regards for your health there.
I believe Saladino also mentioned that before, like, what was it, like 1950s or so, seed oils or used like for greasing like machinery and stuff like that. So it is quite literally like just eating
Yeah.
machine grease.
Yeah. No, I'm aware that they did do that with that. So yeah, it is true. So let's see. Yeah. So did you guys want to talk about veganism?
I'm not opposed to it.
Now, quick question first. Would you date a vegan woman?
You got this, Ancat. Go ahead.
It would depend on how much I liked her, but I would not like it. It wouldn't be a rule out for me. It might for both of you, but it wouldn't. It wouldn't like, oh, are you a vegan? Okay, bye. I don't care. I don't care how hot you are. I don't care how great you are. No.
Well, she couldn't be hot if she was a vegan.
Yo,
Maybe if
true.
she's taking a lot of vitamins. I mean, there could be something like
okay.
I was gonna also mention
Could be.
Brian Johnson. He's a biohacker, and my example
You've
with him
never
was
met
gonna
a
be that
vegan
like,
who's hot?
well, like Brian
Can't
Johnson,
say
for
I have,
example,
no.
like I'd assume there are plenty of women that find him attractive because he's like this muscular guy and he's on a vegan diet, and there's such thing as vegan bodybuilders. Like there are people who are vegan and in shape. It's just that they're supplementing so much of it with these vitamins. They're pretty much he has to eat 100 pills a day. He's like, to stay this young and looking this good, I'm eating 100 pills a day instead of just eating some damn meat. Like he pretty much just thinks, okay, well, yeah, this is how I need to do it. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like plenty of women that look fine and they're vegan, but they there's a lifespan of how long you can really be vegan for before it just really starts to affect your health. Even with supplementation, it's incredibly difficult to do.
I'm
God,
just
I'm just
saying,
looking up.
I personally have not found one ever.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
it's also hard, like to stay healthy when doing vegan because you're pretty much like just becoming really skinny. Like you again, like the macros are just gone, so you're pretty much not getting really any protein unless you're eating beans. But even then, like it's still those are still negatively affecting your
Beans
gut.
are like
So
really bad for you.
I know, yeah, and then like tofu, you're getting a lot of soy, which is also not good for your hormones. So yeah, you're pretty much not
Yeah.
getting anything that's actually helping you out there.
Yeah, I'm just
So I
Googling images of vegans, and yeah, they all look like they do kind of look unhealthy to me. Just
so
from
I
how they
assume
look.
sorry.
No, that was literally it.
Oh, okay. I assume in this scenario I can't change her diet. Like it's stuck like that.
Well, I don't know. What if she's vegan, but you have to change your mind?
That's a lot of work. Yeah, never mind.
See?
Yeah, either way, it's a problem. I mean, yeah, but again, like it's a bit turn offish for me, but yeah, I don't know that I would rule out completely.
It
I
would
couldn't
be
imagine
one
the
thing
pH is
if I'm
great.
like dating a woman and then I find out she's vegan, but like going into it and then finding out from the start, oh, I'm a vegan, it's not likely.
I was just saying the pH could not be great. Not
Bro.
good, bro. I mean, would it be basic or acidic? That's the question there. That's actually the real question of tonight.
Oh God. Yeah, I don't like I could see here's the thing. I do think that yeah, if you're gonna say that you're a vegan and then, I wouldn't be shocked if there are other red flags that because of that I see start to pop up, Like there are a lot of girls who say that they're self-described vegans and then they also have other red flags that, I knew were coming because they mentioned they're a vegan. It's sort of the same reaction to someone who says they're like a communist or whatever, and you're dating you're gonna date them.
You
So you're
do
saying you
see a
wouldn't
lot
date
of
a
overlap
communist?
with that.
Yo, true, you actually do.
No, I
So,
wouldn't.
Greg, I was gonna ask. This is just kind of like random diet stuff, but do you still eat mushrooms?
I do.
All right. You
If I
want to explain
recall,
what's not the problem with them?
yeah, so one, they're really good.
Okay.
Two, if I recall correctly, on Saladino's bullshit list, he mentions that they have like defense chemicals, but he says that if you cook them long enough, that they kind of become inactive or whatever.
Yeah, he said they can like the problem can partially be solved, but that's true for most vegetables.
Yeah. Also, mushrooms are protein, so I mean they're not macro deficient. So that's my excuse for it. Now, it might come later on that these mushrooms that I'm eating and I don't really eat it often. It's like maybe once a month or something like that. And it's really just an accessory to like beef or anything like that. I'm not replacing any meat with mushrooms or anything like that. But I mean, when I do eat it, I kind of like animal basify it by using a lot of cream and then beef fat with it. So even if it's not completely like unproblematic, I'm probably nullifying a lot of it in the process.
Yeah,
Still.
like by cooking it in saturated fat.
Yeah.
What was it that you were talking about, like with some Ray Peat guy saying that they're actually good for you?
Ray Peat? Yeah, I don't know about mushrooms. I know about the Ray Peat idea of like sugar.
I thought you had mentioned that you heard a Ray Peat guy talking about mushrooms, and that was kind of like why you thought it was like, okay, well, it should be fine.
No, I just like mushrooms, and I was like, oh, well, he said you can cook them and they're fine, so I'm gonna go until I start seeing issues.
You don't eat mushrooms because you think that they're healthy. I don't eat mushrooms because they're fucking disgusting. We are not the same.
You know, mushrooms aren't.
What?
They don't taste bad. They don't taste bad. I like them.
They
I like
really
the way
do,
they
though.
taste.
They
I genuinely
don't,
think
though.
I genuinely think that mushrooms are probably one of the worst things to eat for me, as far as taste goes.
Really?
I just hate the taste of them. Yeah, something about them. Yeah, out of most foods, like particularly, I was gonna say vegetables, but they're not a vegetable; they're a fungus. So
I mean, they're used as like a vegetable.
I guess, yeah. But regardless, they taste awful.
I'd rather eat a mushroom than like any like vegetable.
That is true.
Just
I'd rather
taste
do that.
wise.
Right.
Even with taste, not health.
No, yes, like purely talking about taste, mushrooms are
What?
above pretty much every vegetable.
What the hell?
What?
I mean, yeah, like cooked carrots, Brussels sprouts. I mean,
You did not
asparagus.
just say Brussels sprouts.
Those are all
Which do not
better
taste
than
good.
those are
I
all
did
better
not
than
like Brussels
mushrooms in my
sprouts. I've
opinion.
tried them
Yes,
like a few times, and I was like, no.
You can
spinach.
get them to
I like
tasting
spinach.
all right, but they're not great.
I don't
They're
think
not
I've
like
tasted good
amazing,
Brussels
but they're
sprouts.
better than. Yeah, I can name like at least 5 vegetables that are better than mushrooms. Can name.
Do it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Spinach, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, carrots, and I'm just trying to think of a fucking vegetable. Okay, fuck it. Name a vegetable because I could guarantee you that it's probably gonna taste better than mushrooms.
Eggplant.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't had an eggplant in. I don't think I've ever had an eggplant.
Yeah, I don't know that I've tried eggplant.
The
might have
Italians
once.
use them a lot. Italians and Greeks use them in some dishes.
Yeah.
But yeah, green beans. Corn. I'd rather have corn.
See, that
Oh
is
wait,
another one
tomatoes.
thing I don't
Wait,
understand.
tomatoes are fruits, right? They're not vegetables.
Yeah, they kind
They-
of act like vegetables, but
They're
yeah,
a
they're
nightshade, so they have what is it, lectins in them? Let's
Yeah.
see. Yeah, so here's the website again. They're well known for containing lectins, carbohydrate binding proteins that appear to cause/worsen autoimmune issues in many individuals. Let's see. So
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh, dude, potatoes. Potatoes are way better than.
Potatoes also
potatoes
have lectins.
yeah, but potatoes, you're better off eating those like as long as you peel them and boil them for like an hour. At least that's what Pete
And cook in
says,
saturated
or
fat.
Pete said. Yeah, that too. You could also
I don't really
do that.
consider potatoes a vegetable though, because I mean,
Well,
they're a
regardless, I
tuber,
had a
right?
I had a brain fart for the last vegetable. That's because I couldn't think of a vegetable, not because I couldn't like name vegetables that were better than mushrooms.
Like
Oh.
Ray Pete thought it was okay to eat potatoes as long as you do that, like just peel them and boil them, and then also like raw carrots were apparently okay to eat.
Yeah, I do remember our. I'm blanking on the word. Our other person that we know saying carrots were fine as long as you cooked them or something.
Apparently, Pete had like a raw carrot kind of thing that he was okay with,
Oh.
like raw carrot salad or something. I looked it up.
So is it just like shredded carrots in a bowl?
Yeah. I looked into
sounds
somebody that was
awful.
talking. I looked into somebody that was talking about it, and apparently this person was saying that like they don't have the same defense chemicals or something like that. Apparently,
Well,
Just
I mean,
because-
I don't
I
hate
don't know.
carrots.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask.
Although I will say all
you
the
guys-
5 that you mentioned are indeed worse than mushrooms.
I was gonna ask you guys. Do you guys miss bread at all, or just anything related to grains, or have you guys kind of evolved past it in the sense of just not really craving it anymore? Like, does it suck when you're gonna eat a burger and it's like, oh, you just have to eat the meat? Because I feel like
Actually, no.
I would feel that way if I Really? Huh.
It only sucks if I'm at a restaurant and they don't really have many options. I think that's the only time I'm really like, wow, this actually isn't the best. Just because like they'll have like burgers is like maybe the one thing I can eat other than just buying a whole steak, which oftentimes costs a lot of money at restaurants. And pretty much
Right.
like the only thing I can do is get the burger. I mean, like, you know, I try to get it without the bread. And I really just generally do at this point, but yeah, it's not the best. But at home, what I can do is, I mean, like you eat it with things. You can eat it with eggs. Like you could put a fried egg on it. I've done where like you can smash plantains and create like a toston, like you know that you put it under the burger itself. Like it's really good like that. You put cheese on it as always. You could put pickles because pickles are fine as long as they're just not like full of like a bunch of spices and all that. So really, I mean, like
Yeah.
there are a lot of things you can put on your burger to still make it pretty like actually really good because with plantains, like it's incredible to me.
All right. Interesting. What about you,
Yeah,
Greg?
I would agree. For the most part, it's basically just convenience issues. I used to like Middle Eastern food a lot, but like, you know, they use a lot of like seeds and nuts and stuff like that. But I kind of just grew out of craving them most of the time. Um,
Was it hard like your first few weeks going on the diet, like just not having bread anymore,
uh, Not
and then
really,
you
because
just
I
got
kind
used
of
to it?
already came to the conclusion that like pasta was already extremely overrated just in terms of like food, like taste and whatnot.
Really? Huh.
And bread kind of just came like second after that.
I really began
Hmm.
to kind of go through a transition because pause. You know, the thing is,
Pause.
Whoa.
I started out by cutting all bread out of my diet other than Ezekiel sprouted bread. So it's basically like a grain-free bread that they make out of. I forgot exactly what they make it out of, but it's probably not the best for you, but it's still better than actual bread. So I was just eating that for a while, and honestly, after a while, I just stopped eating that, and then pretty much was fine. We still eat like white rice here and there because I mean like it's like the grain it's like just not really bad for you because it doesn't really have anything compared to like brown rice as far as metals and like in general it's just not really bad for the gut.
Yeah, it's the husk where all those toxins are, and the
Right.
white rice has that removed.
It's very
Yeah,
interesting
aside
though
from
that
that, I was gonna say like stuff like hummus and whatnot, where you use bread to dip into it to eat it. I really did like hummus, but I mean, now that I know that hummus is just a bunch of seed oils, basically, I really don't have any desire to eat it. And then as I spend more time away from it, I just kind of lose the craving.
You know, one thing I was thinking about is that like I was thinking about like how people cook in seed oils, and I was like, yeah, fried foods do have a lot of seed oils because like you're pretty much submerging the food in that. But I was like, aside from eating fried foods, which a lot of people are like, okay, I want to eat healthy, let me eat less fried food. Like, how much seed oils are people really eating? But then you look at like these sauces, especially that people love to douse their food
Yeah,
in, and it's just those are soybean oil. It's like all soybean oil. Mayonnaise is just soybean oil. Like there you can buy alternatives that have just avocado oil, which aren't as bad for you. I've actually had that, and it's good. It's like from Primal Kitchen. A lot of people that are on keto like to do that, but
there is an issue with avocado oil, though.
right,
The
yeah. Like
fact
I
that go on.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, you know, yeah, it still has like a certain amount of linoleic acid, and you don't necessarily know the source. It could be oxidized. Yeah, there's still problems with it, but it's like way better for you than the other like alternative, which is just mayo, which is full of soybean oil. If you go to
Right.
Chick-fil-A and look at their sauce list, like everything in there is just full of soybean oil. So it's like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
we're cooking in peanut oil, which like, yeah, it's still because Ignis was talking about how well it's a monounsaturated or yeah, it's monounsaturated fat more than it is poly, though it does still have polyunsaturated fat. So he's like, well, it's actually not as bad for you as other seed oils. But even if they're trying to compensate with that health wise, like there's still just so much like of the problem in the sauces themselves.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I entirely agree.
people are just yeah, completely cucked by the soy,
Yeah. One thing I like is
the
gyros
oils.
though. That is like one thing with grains in it that I'm like, yeah, I do actually really like that.
See, you can go
Damn.
to like actual like sit down places, like actual Middle Eastern and Greek food like places, and just get a platter where they
Right.
don't actually assemble it for you, so you just have the meat and everything, and you could just eat the meat.
The meat by itself is incredible as well. Yeah. And
It's
tzatziki sauce
pretty
is great
good,
too.
Yeah,
which
one
is
of the
just
big
yogurt
things
and
for
stuff.
me is Indian food. So like naan bread is a big thing, and rice and the meat that they cook is really
Goody,
good. Huh?
The
goody.
Indians, they use white rice, don't they? Usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Sometimes they do use, I think, I can't remember what else, what other kinds of rice they do, but I don't think it's only white rice.
The funny thing is, like, I was up in Tallahassee, not, or it was the beginning of like 2022, and there was this guy there who was like, this guy, he was saying like he went out for Indian with his friends. He's like, yeah, I had naan, man, I had naan, and he wouldn't stop saying it. He's like, have you, like, random people would walk up to him, he'd be like, yeah, have you, like, I tried naan, man, have you tried naan before? Like,
Dude, naan bread is actually genuinely amazing. You did
but
that
like,
shit in the
but the thing, it was so weird. Like, it was like the first time he had heard of it or something. He just kept saying it to people.
naan bread.
He was excited, bro.
Yeah, he was
How
excited.
often do you get naan bread?
Me,
I don't know.
I eat it quite a bit, actually, surprisingly.
Oh no.
Well, actually, I haven't had it in a while, but I did have it sort of recently with my family because we went out to dinner.
Is Indian food typically expensive when you guys go out for it? Because I remember I went out for Indian food, and like dinner for 2 people was like $100.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
What restaurant did you go to?
See, he's agreeing.
It's like
with
they're
me.
really
Greg understands.
trying to like be like a
Well, it
French
could just be-
level restaurant, but it's just
it could
not
just be-
anywhere near it.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be because you guys went to like maybe an expensive restaurant in Florida, but like, yeah, the one that we went to, it wasn't that expensive.
But like that's all you get, really. There's not really any other options. There's not like a fast food like non-bread shop or whatever. Now, I will say Mexican food, they do it right. It's always cheap.
But they use vegetable oil. That's the thing.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Mexican food is just grease. I just don't really like Mexican food in general. It's just
Like
fucking
actual
greasy.
Mexican food or Americanized Mexican food?
I mean, I guess like if I were to go to like a Mexican-owned restaurant in Portland, for instance, is that what you're talking about? Okay, I'm not talking about like Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's what I meant, basically.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm talking about genuine Mexican food. I'm just not a big fan.
Okay.
I mean, again, it's not bad. It's just like, I don't know, like way too much cheese, a ton of beans that I'm not a big fan of. I don't know.
You're not a fan of
That's
Mexicans?
Yo, hey, I told you that in private. Were you the code where we just I just put food in front of it? I hate Mexican food.
I was going to ask, how did your family stand going to an Indian restaurant with all the smelly stuff in there?
With what?
And also
Wait,
the
what?
food.
Oh yeah, no. No. I mean, we did cover our noses. I mean, no, it was actually surprisingly clean in there.
Surprisingly clean.
He was expecting it to look like Bombay.
It did not look like them. It did not look like a random street in India. No.
Dude, one time I was like at my apartment gym. I was just on the treadmill, and like I'm just sitting there like walking. Actually, I think I was running, and then I was taking a break from the running. And then this guy just walks right next to me on the other treadmill, and he's Indian. And dude, I just got this like huge, massive cloud of just spice. It was terrible. I was like, oh my god, how does he walk around like this? And it smelled like he wasn't even wearing deodorant, which I mean, like, yeah, like honestly, there's a lot of products that even we don't use now or use like natural versions of it. So I'm not saying like go buy Old Spice or something, but it would still be better for my nose if he didn't smell like that. Is all I'm saying.
When I'm in a bad breath competition and an Indian walks in.
I mean, that's the other thing that Saladino talks about, if we want to bring it back to the main topic, is that certain foods that are very aromatic will actually make you smell bad, like worse than if you just didn't eat them.
Interesting. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, things like a lot of garlic, onions, just a lot of herbs in general like that, and especially like Indian food because they use a ton of spices in their food. That's why they have that stigma of like kind of being, known as smelly or whatever, but it's not. It's not. Come
on, Ancat. They don't just smell like that.
It is like in genuinely, it is genuinely just the food they eat.
It's their stinky culture.
It is true. That is true.
Diet is a part of culture.
I mean, technically, yes, it is technically stinky culture.
It really is. Yeah, not even exaggerating. I can't be racist because I said culture and not race.
Yeah, well,
It wouldn't be a race anyway.
Ethnicity.
Now, what is a race?
Well, whenever you make
that leads us
on like a test,
to our next topic, doesn't it?
Wait, what'd you say, Greg?
Sorry.
Oh, well, whenever you make a mistake on like a test or something and you're writing in pencil, you've got this pink part at the back of your pencil and you rub it against the mistake and it goes away. Well, not perfectly, but it gets it off the paper.
So that's what's erase.
Yeah.
True.
So it gets rid of that black stuff and it just makes it nice and white again.
Oh, good.
Unless
Amazing.
you're using a
Perfect.
white lead. No, that doesn't even exist. Unless you're like writing in white on black paper, then it erases the white and makes it all nice and black again.
You can't
Nice
have
and
a white
black?
lead because obviously the black stuff is what makes everything else dirty.
I'm trying to
So how
cover us
could
from
you, how
the
could you,
Twitter
how could you
mob.
have that? What?
I'm trying to cover us.
Well, I'm not saying anything.
Cover our
No,
tracks.
there was this guy I was talking to, and he was talking about these renovations he wanted to do in this store. And so I'm saying, like, he's this Arab guy. I was saying, what are you talking about? Like, we need to do some painting in here. Like, what do you mean there needs to be some painting done? He's like, yeah, maybe I could do the Arab accent on here. It's like, yeah, it needs to be clean. Like, you cannot have it dirty like that. He's like,
You're doing like the high pitched Arab accent. I thought you would do like a more deep.
No,
I thought you would
need
do
to
like
the
a more
high-pitched one.
deeper.
This guy's a high pitched one. So he's like, yeah, it just needs to be all white, everything, the floor, the walls, everything. Yeah, it just needs to be like that. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I mean, so why is that? And he's like, well, white is clean. Like you want the whole environment to be white. You need everything to be white there. And I'm like, what about like people? Like, can you have black people? He's like, well. Yeah, it's just the environment has to be white. They have to be placed in a white environment.
What the fuck?
So everything around them has to be white.
Do one, but it's just your normal voice pitch,
What?
like an accent.
Just the same one, like the Arab one, like
Yeah. But like just
No,
like
do a
don't
German
don't
one.
I'm
yeah
not doing a
don't
German accent.
don't raise your
Not gonna work.
voice. Ooh, actually, could you do a German accent?
I don't think I can. It's not gonna work.
Oh.
People want a German accent.
I
you
don't
do
think
one?
I don't think I have enough. It's gonna have to do with a specific people that the Germans have some beef with. If I'm gonna remember some terminology that they use.
The gypsies?
Yeah, those.
Oh yeah, gypsies.
So
Definitely.
anyway,
the elites.
what women are the hottest?
Yo,
Wow.
S tier transition.
Actually, the hottest women are the animal-based women.
See, there you
True.
go. We've destroyed
True.
racism. Because
We did it, boys.
You're saying any race, right?
I did not say any specific race.
Yeah.
He
Well,
was just
anyway.
saying the hottest in general, not
Right.
saying that all races are equal.
Well, we know it's Latinas. Come on.
Maybe
Maybe.
for you.
Maybe for
Let's
me.
hear your list, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, mine. I didn't make one.
Let's hear what you think is the hottest, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, let me check your list because I know you sent me the list, but let me get that pulled up real quick.
We're going in now.
Reference point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about doing
Looking
this
at the
before stream. It was something that we were like, oh yeah, let's just rank these groups, right? These ethnic groups, and see what we think is most attractive. And then we were kind of like, yeah, we'll talk about that at the beginning of the stream. And then we just went into this for like an hour.
Well, I think my number one was just your which is your number two, Greg, which is European or European descendant.
Actually,
At
you know
least
what we should talk about?
the rest of
I
preference.
actually have a good idea. Let's talk about the diets around the world and then see if that correlates to the hottest women around the world.
That's
That would
Actually a good
actually
idea.
get back into what we're talking about. We're going to actually infuse it back in. I think that's
But then again,
actually
we're gonna be
really
disagreeing on who are the hottest women around the world. That's the problem.
But we could talk about whether like we can mention a place, what they eat, and then see how hot the women are. We could be like, oh yeah, these women are definitely hot. So we don't have to point out first the hottest women around the world. Like first we're gonna say like what the diets are and like which places have the best diet.
Argentina.
All right.
Argentina, yes,
starting
because
off
they
with
have a
the
lot of-
worst.
No.
Israel.
Whoa.
What do they eat there? Don't say that on stream, but what do they eat there?
Actually, I don't know.
It's like Middle Eastern.
I
food,
wasn't
so-
going off
Not
diet. I was
ideal.
going off something else that's in Israel.
Oh. Oh,
Muslims. No.
sand. You don't like
Oh yeah,
sand.
the Muslims just need to leave, bro. I mean, let's get Ben on here.
Oh
To
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
lots
that.
of sand.
Okay, gang.
The Palestinians.
Those dirty Muslims, they're just in our country, and they just need to get out of here, folks.
Did you see that like
Okay, gang, like
essay
the
or whatever he
Palestinians
wrote a while
actually
ago?
deserve to die. Okay.
Wait, what?
He wrote
Sorry,
like an
what?
article a while ago where he's talking about how like I think it was like relocation isn't a dirty word, and he's like trying to justify like
Hey, yo.
forcing all
Bruh.
the Palestinians out of Israel.
Classic Ben Shapiro.
Damn, what a coincidence.
For the sake of the argument, what if we removed all the brown people?
Yeah, yeah, literally, just his argument. Actually, gang,
Okay.
they don't actually own the land. I read it in the I don't know, in the
Israel
Torah or
Times?
whatever. It is real times.
Is that not a publication?
Is that a real thing? I don't
Is it
know.
not?
I feel like it
could
has
swear-
to be.
Bro, it
Yeah,
is.
it has to be.
I've like read there before. Come on.
Yo, the Israel Times.
Yes, bro, the
You mean
Times of
the
Israel. Sorry.
you mean the mainstream media?
Okay, now we're really getting into it.
Now I don't want to say what kind of people, what kind of doctor. It was a
I don't want to say
Jewish
the race of the
doctor.
doctor. Yeah. So Argentina has hot women, right? Because I mean, like, also they have a lot of cows. Coincidence?
They
I think
eat
not.
Does
the most
Argentina?
red
I'm
meat per
Googling this.
capita by country. Or I'm not sure if I said that correctly, but
Do we
they eat
have
the
a
most
map
red
of
meat,
this?
basically.
See if we have a map for most red meat consumed. per
I think I
capita.
did find a map of it a while
Really?
ago, but I didn't save it.
I see top red
Argentina,
meat
bro.
consuming countries from World Atlas.
Yeah, actually, they not
Then
only
there's-
look like very beautiful,
Bro,
but
it
they
says
just look
they
healthy.
consume it in Israel. They say
Consume what?
the citizens
Yeah.
of the small Middle Eastern country of Israel regularly consume a great deal of red meat. The country's cuisine is influenced by an array of regional and imported cultures, although traditional Jewish dietary laws, oh, right, they can't eat
Pork.
meat. No, they can't eat meat and dairy with each other.
Oh yeah, they can never eat a cheeseburger.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah, it's
they're actually
kinda
not allowed to.
upsetting.
What the fuck?
It says, as well as the Muslim religion forbids the eating of pork, Israelis often grill and barbecue other meats such as beef and lamb. Popular dishes in the nation include meat stews and moussaka.
Ah, moussaka. That's the Greek dish with the eggplant. That
Oh,
was
I found
thinking of.
an actual chart of it. It gives like top 10 countries. Let's see. Let me actually like share it on here. Let's see.
Yeah, but like just because they eat, I mean, is it just the red meat that you're looking for specifically, or is it like other things like the dairy input,
Yeah,
other
they.
Well,
factors
let's see
as
what
well?
red meat is first. So
Like
first
what kind of
is
meat?
Argentina.
Let's
we have
go.
Uruguay, Brazil. United
Yo.
States is 4, but that actually doesn't correlate to quality of women because there's so much processed food. Like, and that's one point that you can actually bring up. Like the fact that saturated fat is often demonized and like red meat is often demonized. And what they're really looking at when they're studying it is also people that have so many other factors that have to do with their health. And then they're just saying, like, look at these people that are so unhealthy eating saturated fat and red meat, but also the guys like drinking every day, smoking, just like really not taking care of his health, not exercising, not doing anything, eating all these processed foods. It's like, well, it's not really much of a shock that the guy's dying of heart disease.
I find it funny that like you have a country like Argentina, which to my knowledge isn't known for obesity, yet they eat more red meat than the United States, and yet
Right.
we're being told that red meat is the worst thing possible to be eating.
Right. So we have Australia at 5, Israel at 6, Chile at 7, Canada at 8, Kazakhstan
Oh,
at
God.
9, and New Zealand at 10. New Zealand is not a surprise though, because a lot of the supplements for desiccated organs actually come from there.
Maybe
Really?
it's maybe
Yeah.
it's the Palestinians in Israel that are eating the meat.
Maybe in the
Could be.
Euros or whatever.
Well, I mean, it's also the fact that they're eating red meat plus whatever else they have
Right.
there. And Middle Eastern diets are usually heavy in nuts and seeds and whatnot.
Right. That also is true. Oh yeah, New Zealand, like as far as the desiccated organ stuff, yeah, like Saladino uses that for heart and soil, and then I saw some other ones from this other company that sells desiccated organs because I was looking for a specific thyroid one, and Saladino doesn't have that, but they actually do have one, and it's a pretty good deal. I forgot what their brand was, but yeah, they also got them from New Zealand, like all their organs, and like this was another big like desiccated organs brand.
So the animals are raised in New Zealand and they get the organs from there.
Yeah, like they're grass fed, grass finished there. Then they like take out the organs after they slaughter them, and then they pretty much do this process. It's like some like freeze drying kind of thing where they just ensure that they're not. Well, see, the thing is, the drying of the meat actually happens through the freezing rather than through the heat, because the heat's actually going to probably kill off a lot of like the enzymes and all that, or whatever it is present in meat. But as opposed to freeze drying, which actually preserves a lot of that, like the vitamins and so on. So you actually don't lose a lot of that when you're desiccating them. Yeah. So,
Nice.
Well, maybe they don't correlate. I don't know. I mean, do you think? I mean, there
don't
could
think
be a
they do?
bit of correlation.
well, because
I think
Argentina, they're
correlates.
But
That
Argentina
definitely
Israel
correlates.
does.
But
Well,
Israel,
like
number
again, it could
six.
just be other things they're eating.
The other thing I wanted to say about like United States, at least from what I've seen, there is a split depending on where you are in the states, on like attractiveness and whatnot, and then also diet as well.
No,
So like
I was
somebody
thinking,
from Texas won't be eating the same thing as somebody from
right.
like Maine.
Yeah.
I was thinking, fuck, what was I thinking? I was just gonna say something on that. On the foods eaten. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, well, saturated fat was one thing I wanted to look into, because I was thinking like saturated fat intake actually may be more important to look at than red meat, because you're still getting a lot of the saturated fat from that, but you're also seeing like how much saturated fat people are getting in general, because it would imply that they're cooking more in the saturated fats themselves. So it would actually probably relate more to how healthy the results they're getting from that.
I've seen a lot of videos and whatnot of how to cook a steak or whatever, or how people are making the best steak ever, and they'll usually grease the pan with some form of seed oil.
Right. And I was going to mention, it was like Hong Kong that they eat like, it's like per person, it's like a pound or more like of red meat a day on average.
But they're using the wrong oils.
Yeah, but they eat a lot of red meat. Well, apparently they're actually healthy. Like they have a long lifespan in Hong Kong. I think it's like one of the highest.
Really?
Yeah, they live to like their 80s on average.
Specifically Hong Kong, not the rest of China?
No, not the rest of China. It's like specifically Hong Kong from what I've seen.
Oh. That's odd. I'll have to look into that.
I first saw it from Carnivore Aurelius, but I've seen it elsewhere, and it actually is true that they do eat a lot of it. Let's see. I'm trying to find a map for the saturated fat, because let's see. Because daily fat intake at this one chart just shows fat in general, and so it shows the United States is the highest, but it's because people are eating so many like polyunsaturated fats that it's like, yeah, of course they're eating more than everybody else. That actually may be kind of important to look at, though, because if we're just assuming most people are eating the polyunsaturated fats, then it's kind of like, well, of course these are the unhealthiest places. Let's see. Share screen. All right. Because this is just some chart of fat in general per capita, and you see how dark the United States is, and most of it's likely not saturated fat. So of course there's so much more obesity here than everywhere else. But yeah, there's no way to tell like saturated versus polyunsaturated. So that's the unfortunate part about that. I don't really want to use that as like a source for like, okay, here's what people are eating where. Let's see. Stunning saturated fat and the European paradox diet, doctor. Wow, this is mind-blowing. Have you heard about the French paradox? French people traditionally eat a lot of saturated fat like butter, yet they generally have less heart disease than other populations. Wow, that's crazy, bro. Is dietdoctor.com.
What's this? Our mutual friend brought that up. I don't know if I can say his name.
Here, I'm going to actually show this one, because let's see. This may actually be interesting because I just read part of it. This is just dietdoctor.com. I don't really know, but these are doctors posting this, publishing it. So you see like less saturated fat, more heart disease from Belarus, Kazakhstan, Ukraine. And even though Kazakhstan was one of the ones listed as like the highest red meat, they're actually eating less saturated fat. Let's see, Georgia, Moldavia. Okay, so and then the higher ones, we have European countries like, what?
I like Georgia.
Yeah, we have like Ireland, Finland, UK, Austria, Norway. I can't read this. What is it? Germany, Poland,
Germany.
Sweden, Iceland, Denmark, Italy. France is like the highest one. Yeah, so like all the European countries eating more saturated fat are actually having less heart disease. It's actually kind of crazy that that's the case. So let's see. Shown weeks. Let's see, that it's been seen as a paradox in the past is probably because older observational studies have shown weak associations between saturated fat consumption and increased risk of heart disease. However, there are many explanations for these findings, such as the healthy user effect, right? People who adhere to other health-related behaviors are also likely to avoid saturated fat because they've been told it's unhealthy. Yeah. So it pretty much adds up here, right?
There is the account of I'm assuming it was a U.S. study of trying to figure out what was leading to obesity in the U.S. And there were two camps. There was one that was saying, "Oh, it's probably processed sugar." Another camp saying, "Oh, it might be saturated fat." And the way that I've been told is that the sugar industry actually bribed the camp that was on the saturated fat side, saying, "Hey," or I don't know exactly how it was, but anyways, they used money to skew the actual results in favor of it being saturated fat is the worst thing for you in terms of
Right.
obesity and heart disease.
Yeah, no, that is true. And that's a common thing pointed to when people talk about like, oh yeah, fat actually is demonized. But the thing is, when people say fat is demonized, they're not necessarily mentioning saturated fat. They're just kind of saying fat in general. Oh, fat's actually good for you. But when they think back to it, they're like thinking about the healthy fats and they're not actually thinking back to saturated fats. They're still thinking like mainly like, the stuff you'd find in things that have well, I guess fish, it has omega-3s, but it's not like something you're getting a lot of saturated fat out of. And just other sources of it, like well, I'm trying to think of foods that actually have that, but yeah, like pretty much they're not going just
Nuts and
straight to like,
beans.
yeah, exactly, nuts and beans. Yeah, those are great examples of it. But yeah, they're looking to those instead of the actual meats, and they're like, oh well, and that's the thing too, because they're not going to automatically say like, well, red meat must be good for you, even if saturated fat isn't necessarily bad for you, because they're going to think, oh well, red meat itself is a carcinogen, red meat itself is causing issues in the colon, and so on and so forth. Because I think it was even like well, I don't know if the World Health Organization posted something that like red meat is actually a carcinogen, like they believe now. I also saw that like apparently those like a lot of those studies were debunked not too long ago. Actually, that red meat for the longest time was demonized and not actually bad. I just looked up World Health Organization without looking up red meat. Hold on. Yeah, so I mean, this is AI summarizing like Harvard and PACM.org and The Guardian, so I'll just read it out for what it is here on the summarizer. But it says the WHO has classified red meat as probably carcinogenic to humans, group 2A, and processed meat as a carcinogenic to humans. Yeah, well, I mean, processed meat probably is, but because of what they add to it. Let's see. So other organizations such as the American Heart Association, the World Cancer Research Fund, and the American Cancer Society have also recommended limiting red meat consumption to 500 grams per week and avoiding processed meat. Wow. Like they're saying stick to 500 grams of meat per week, or at least red meat. That is pretty crazy though. Let's see.
We got to go to Argentina.
We need to. Yo, make a boys trip. Let's do it.
Yes. We do need to go to Argentina because that's where the babes are. Come on.
Because they eat
Passport
red
bros, we
meat.
up. Passport bros, we up.
Do we want to get back to the list, or
Let's see. Wait, just that there was just 10 on the one I saw. I mean, unless you have another source for it. Oh, you did not mean top meat, red meat consuming countries. You actually did mean.
I did not. Unless you want to keep going down that rabbit hole.
The actual rating of women from countries.
Ancat brought it up, so I feel like he should finish what he started.
I suppose we did incorporate that into the main topic, but we could just go on to that as an aside if you do have any opinions on that you want to share.
Well, I put European and European descendant on the in the upper echelon. Actually, I put it at the top, but I didn't I haven't like made a full list or anything. But I'm just looking at your list, and I agree with some of it, but maybe not others.
Is that it? That's your whole rating?
Well, I mean, I didn't do a formal one before this, so.
Oh well, for me, again,
I mean, maybe if you guys want to, let out your whole list, and then I can point out if I have any disagreements with it.
Me when the boys and I start a podcast and it's like fucking getting arrested.
Steve from the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are Sigmas.
Pretty much. Yo, I'm literally Ryan Gosling. He's
Bro,
literally me.
If we don't set up a Mojo Dojo Casa House, what is going to happen to mankind?
It'll
honestly, I mentioned this to Ancat. I watched the Barbie movie at my friend's like birthday thing, and the movie was great. until the part where well it actually should have ended when they set up the patriarchy. Like if it ended right there, I would have actually enjoyed the movie. But then they had to go and ruin it. And it just became a shit movie afterward. I was like, this is terrible. And the movie ends with Barbie going to the gynecologist.
What?
I'm not kidding. She just does.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. She becomes
So
a
the moral
human.
of the story
She actually becomes a
is
human.
Go to your
Yeah.
gynecologist?
To be a woman is just to go to the gynecologist. That is what it means. That is surmised what it means to be a woman.
Isn't that expensive?
What is a woman?
Have you seen the Have you seen the meme where it's like gynecologists and pizza chefs or pizza delivery people? That's what it was. And then they shake hands. It's like smell it but can't eat it.
Bruh.
God.
Pizza delivery people.
Greg, huh? Yeah. What? You're surprised he doesn't have a last name? His parents didn't give him one.
It's a mononym.
Just Greg.
Exactly.
Greg Heffley. It's the
Ignis,
first thing I thought of when
you
you mentioned that.
We needed you for the diet so you could give your opinions on this.
It's your brother Roderick.
Bruh.
No comment.
Right.
Not my
Anyway,
Roderick.
However,
Hispanic
if it
women?
was Roderick, it would be the original Roderick.
That's
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
Not that one that looks like Lil Tay.
Yeah, no, that's not
You
it.
see Lil Tay's back?
I
Lil
Did
Tay
not.
did not die. Lil Tay is a
Well-
16-year-old girl doing like pop music and like playing like Master of Puppets on the guitar and then playing like classical music on the piano. I'm not kidding. And then
What?
also still coming back like, I gave you guys 5 years and you're still broke.
Wow.
I'm serious. This all just happened
So-
this week.
So Gregory, honest question: why put North Indians / Aryans above exceptional East Asian?
That actually is true. East Asians are hot. I mean, the exceptional
Yeah.
ones. Not all of them. The exceptional ones.
And then in parentheses you fucking put Mongols.
Mongols
What do
are
you mean?
based.
They
What?
are.
They're animal based, basically.
Bro, they eat a lot of red meat and dairy.
Yeah,
You're
I saw a
talking-
picture once of like some reporter or some like news guy from the West. He went to like Mongolia and he was standing behind like some like Mongolian, I don't know, like warriors or whatever, and he was like ridiculously tiny compared to them. Like all of them, they were like 7 feet tall or something like that. It was ridiculous.
Mongolians are like the fucking Aborigines of Asia.
No.
Like,
Whoa.
No, that's a stereotype. It's harmful. Come on, we gotta be
Whoa.
respectful to these beautiful Mongolian women and these based
Right.
men that are,
I'm doing
that are,
some-
like stronger than other Asians. Like they're superior. Come on,
They took over the entire continent while being just nothing but like horseback riders.
bro. This is just the stereotype.
Well,
that
yeah,
people
that's-
that go to the gym are stupid. Come on.
Pretty
That's-
much, yeah.
that's because they fucking no, but that's the thing. It's because they basically just like they weren't even really conquering. They were just fucking massacring everyone and looting the
Oh.
city. Like there wasn't anything left.
conquering
There
it.
wasn't. They didn't really set up an empire. They just destroyed everything, and
They
so
were
there
too
wasn't
hot
Well,
up
really.
that's
on
not
They,
true,
testosterone.
like
actually.
they,
No,
they
did.
control. They
They're-
can like they control it by default. I mean, they would
No,
they would
they did set up
ransack
an
entire
empire.
cities and burn them.
It wasn't like a Roman Empire where it was like permanent or whatever. It like collapsed almost immediately, but the influence was definitely there. I mean, the Mongol
There was
Empire is pretty
influence,
much
but yeah,
the backbone for modern Russia. So I mean, that has to count for something.
Well, that's. I mean, if anything, that like puts it against it, because Russia fucking sucks.
Oh boy.
I mean, not only in the modern day, but at least historically, especially.
Okay, that's actually kind of true.
That's basically like saying, yeah, Mongolians are great. They birthed the Tsarist regime and the Soviet Union.
All right, we're gonna pull up a picture of North Indian women.
I'm looking at
pictures.
Mongolian girls because I don't know
We
what
need
the
to
fuck you're
see.
talking
Well,
about.
okay,
Always type women, don't type girls.
yeah, no, no. Let's see.
Well, they're not like
Oh, I see
popping
what
up on
you
my
mean with the
screen.
North
They're not
Indian
like
girls,
yeah,
though.
they're not like popping up on my screen. Fucking 13 years old, like
Okay, come on. We're being professional here.
bruh. I'm just saying that's not what's
isn't
popping up in my
Epstein's,
feed.
Flight where you're on the plane with him and you're comfortable and you can say what you want. This is a civil stream. That's why we call it civil offense.
But you're forgetting the offense part.
Yo, hold on, bro. I just saw this fire Mongolian chick. Hold up.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
I did see one. Should I link
Bro,
it in the
no way,
Discord?
no way. Hold on. Check it, bro. Hold on,
Bro, send it to me on Discord.
bro. Check this chick out,
Damn.
bro. Holy.
Is this all the same girl?
I think these two are,
Oh wait, you're
unless they're
sending it.
just really similar looking.
Oh, you're stream.
But
Oh
dang,
yeah,
but dang, bro. Hold
I'm
up.
Discording you some.
Hold up. I'm not gonna. Well, this one's not a great example, but hold up, bro.
Asian brides.
AsianBrides.org. I didn't even
We're
realize.
going shopping, boys.
Hey, you guys want to go?
Okay, you're looking at.
Hold up.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
Is this a, hold on? I need to like vet this web. Maybe I do need to vet this website before I go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just need to make sure there's no strange ads on the side.
Oh yeah.
That'll get me banned.
Okay, like some are. I'm looking at some and they're fine, but like some just fucking
Bro.
have like really shit outfits.
These are fine Asian women,
It's like the hidden secret of Asia.
bro. For real,
wouldn't-
I didn't even realize we're dropping sauce here on this stream. Hold on, pause.
Bruh.
By the way, Mongolia was like the last country to get the Wu flu.
All right,
I don't know,
here we
they're
got
still
like a
fucking-
North Indian woman here.
Some are okay, but like
this
they're
one is
still
not
fucking
good.
Mongolian. They
This
just
one is
look like
good.
Native Americans, just
what?
from India.
Why bulky
What?
women attracting young men, redefining femininity and beauty standards? I don't think so,
How did you get that?
Oh my god, what the fuck?
bro. There's just pixelated images of these North Indian women. Well, there's that.
What do you? What does Brave do? You need to get off Brave. What the fuck?
Why is there a problem?
Is it spyware? Actually, yeah, I have heard some things. I have seen some articles that that apparently Brave is like not the best.
Dang. What should I get?
It's better than DuckDuckGo. I use Start Page and Cirx.
I also use Start Page now that you mentioned it.
Start page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Start Page is really good. And then as far as the browser that I use on Google Chromium.
I believe Start Page says that they get you the same result as Google, but just
Chromium?
about the bad parts.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you can add others as well. You can get like Bing's results and a few others. So
Let's see. Chromium's an open source browser project that aims to build a safer, faster, and more stable way for all users to experience the web. The site contains design documents, architecture overviews, testing information, and more to help you learn and build to build and work within the Chromium source code.
It's literally just Google Chrome, but actually like it has the same layout. It's just without the spyware.
Like
Essentially.
I could transfer
much.
everything really quick, I assume.
Oh yeah. Like everything would look the same. Yeah.
I'm saying I can transfer everything over really quick.
I don't know if there's like an automatic transfer feature. You'd have to look that up. What I did is I just copied all my bookmarks and then I changed my settings, but that was all I really had to do.
Do you have to like do those automatically? Or not automatically, I mean manually.
I did with bookmarks, but I don't know if there's a non-manual way to do it.
There's probably like a third-party service that does
It probably is, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, that's what I would recommend. And then yeah, I'll link you the article if I find it on Brave. I do wish I could remember what specifically was wrong with it, but yeah, I have heard that some not good things about Brave.
All right.
They're not.
But
very great, are they?
it's definitely like I wouldn't like freak out about overusing it because it's still better than DuckDuckGo or Google,
Yeah.
But trying to make you secure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And also just I like the layout of Start Page better, and I think it gives you better results. So that's just a bonus.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely use that.
Do you see the Mongolian chick I sent you?
You
She
send it over
looks like-
Discord?
She looks like South Korean though. To me.
He said South Korean as opposed to North.
Yeah. Why would I say North Korean?
Because,
North Korean
I mean,
just North
it's
Korean
just
just
like-
women just look worse because they're underfed.
True.
I have to pull this up over here.
Yeah. Like they're living in a like women living women living under states are not well. This is another reason to fight the state.
I dropped
Also, yeah,
everything.
once the more the state's subverted, the more people will actually be able to afford quality food as well. So, better diets.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
Because you ever notice how like healthy people with not enough time because they're constantly working always also tend to be like really fat and not have the best diet because they just don't have
right.
a lot of time to make healthy food and they just pick up the shit at Walmart.
Yeah, and permaculture, like even Doug mentioned that on my show, and he was talking about how like the Amazon is like pretty much its own permaculture.
There's a reason why fucking wealthy girls are the shit with
What?
with rich families. What?
What do you mean they're like attractive?
Yeah,
I mean,
because
I don't
they
know.
have better diets.
Okay.
The classist, no.
Sure, I
Have you seen
guess.
those posts where it's like random McDonald's worker?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love
No,
those.
it's not. But the thing is, it's not often like it's not always true. Just because like they're eating all the McDonald's and then they're getting fat. They have to have just started
True.
there. You have to save them
Yeah,
then.
That's actually true. I've
McDonald's was
seen
probably
some
a bad
pretty
example. They
grisly
should have they
McDonald's
should have picked
workers.
like they should have picked like retail worker or
Yeah,
random. Yeah,
retail worker
because that would
girls
make
do look better than fast food girls.
true.
It's true. That's all we need to know.
It is. It is. Not even lying.
What about waitresses at like a sit-down restaurant?
They do
Eh,
look better
better
than
than
fast
fast
food. Yeah.
food, but worse than retail.
Worse than retail?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know about that completely. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Because I mean, with I don't know, with sit down restaurants, it just depends, I guess, on the quality of the restaurant.
Like Hooters. Now that.
Oh my god. Well, actually, yeah, no. Now that I think about it, there are some restaurants that are really high quality, and yeah, will have better looking waitresses.
We should open up a Hooters branch, but we fry all the wings in tallow. So if the girls get meals on company time and it's like it's a shift meal, then they're only eating the saturated fat wings.
And we
And
know
then we'll get so much
what
business.
that does.
We'll get so much business.
What does Hooters even sell for food?
Wings?
What? You don't know that?
You've never been?
I've never. No, wait. Have you guys actually been to Hooters? I've never been to a Hooters.
Like once or twice.
Oh,
Like me too, once or twice.
bruh.
The
Okay,
food
well,
is
you guys got
mid.
It's been more than once for me, but yeah.
the food's mid. Okay,
Yeah.
but
It's
they
just
have
like
great
bar food
pastrami.
basically. Like wings and wings and like burgers and stuff.
Yeah, I'll take a chicken breast, hold the chicken. Like a glass of milk, freshly squeezed.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, man. My eyes were bigger than my stomach.
Bro.
Okay, that was terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, you guys got to take me. Is there an age limit to go to Hooters or
No.
What? Why?
No.
really?
But also, I don't know if I want to take you to Hooters because, like, again, like we got to eat healthy, man. I got to show you the ways.
I've heard that the B-dubs is better anyway. And it's basically the
Yeah.
same thing.
So I know Saladino had
E-dubs?
went to Buffalo Wild Wings. It's Buffalo Wild Wings. And like he did ask, and at least one location that he went to said they do fry in tallow.
What?
I don't know if
Wait,
that's all
really?
of them. Yeah, no, he had a video where he pulled up and he's like, "Yeah, can I know what you guys cooking?" And they said it was beef tallow. Like before you even mentioned tallow, they did say that. Let's see.
Whoa.
Let me see if I can find it because I'll play the video on here. Hold on.
Damn, we gotta go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
I don't know if that's all of them. That's the thing you might have to ask. But like it seems
Yeah,
like they're
probably.
receptive to you telling them. But like he went to, for example, like Cheesecake Factory, and there's nothing that they cook in butter or
No,
tallow or
I
anything.
remember
It's
that
all
one. He said
COA.
the steaks and the burgers they just cook in their own fat or something like that.
Yeah. Well, actually, was it? Yeah, I guess that was it for those. But the rest of that,
Because he was
everything
talking to the manager, and the manager was saying how even if like a food doesn't need to be cooked in seed oils, they'll brush it so that it looks moist instead of like dry, like chicken and stuff like that.
let's see. Oh, it might have not been Saladino. It might have been some other guy because I see another guy that went to Buffalo Wild Wings and asked, and maybe I was just thinking of it being Saladino just since it was like a similar format. This guy, let's see. I don't know if the audio is going to work because I'm not hearing it for some reason. Let's see.
saying in my comments, let's go get some wings. I heard you guys use beef tallow for your wings, and I'm stoked about that. With the dry rub, I'm gonna go with 6 lemon pepper, traditional please, 6 salt and vinegar, and then 6 buffalo, and then whatever Joe and Lance want. You want some wings, baby? Beef tallow wings. They don't fry them in cottonseed oil, soybean oil, corn oil, peanut oil. Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm pretty stoked on. We'll see when we actually get these wings. We'll have Lance try some. He's a wing connoisseur.
One taste review.
One bite review. This one I'm literally giving like an 8 out of 10. Crispy on the outside, a lot of lemon pepper flavor coming through. Really delicious, and I know it's fried in beef.
No, I probably saw another video on this. Saladino probably did make a video because I just can't find it for some reason on YouTube, but I know I saw a different one where he actually like went in and asked.
The other thing is you still have to be wary of the sauces because they
right.
Those
yeah,
still
because everything
oil and whatnot.
Everything they're putting it in could be a problem as well. Let's see. Hello.
And then on top of that, like if you're I guess if you're getting regular wings, it's not a problem. But if you're getting like boneless wings and stuff like that, it's still breaded. So
let me look up Buffalo Wild Wings tallow because if I just look it up online, maybe it says that all of them do. Let's see. Yeah, I think it might depend on the location because I see like a Reddit thread where somebody's asking and then like the main reply that shows up in the search is like still tallow at mine still. So I don't know.
Oh, they're like switching over, I guess.
Well, it says Buffalo Wild Wings uses beef tallow. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I see on the main search that I'm doing. But let's see. Oh, shit. Let me read this because it actually seems like there's something interesting here. In 2016, a class action lawsuit was filed against Buffalo Wild Wings for allegedly deceiving customers by failing to disclose that it uses beef tallow to fry food. Oh, wow. When the industry standard is to not use non-beef cooking oil. I mean, it's not like a vegan problem there because people already are eating chicken. So I don't understand why, this would be deceiving customers by failing to disclose it. And seemingly this would be something that pulls people into eating it. I don't understand, like, aside from the people that are like, oh my God, saturated fat isn't good for you. Like, this is chicken. You're eating meat. Like, why would you be so scared of...
Can I go to like any other restaurant and sue them for not cooking it in like butter or whatever? I mean, I'm not exactly asking what they're cooking it in. It's not like they're telling me, oh yeah, we're cooking it in butter and just not using butter.
Right.
Like, they're not deceiving me. I just didn't know.
Yeah. I mean, have you been to a restaurant and asked what they cook in? Because generally, I mean, I don't really go to restaurants often, but like I kind of guess what is cooked in and what isn't. So I'll just order beef stuff. Like I'll try to order steak or like a burger that isn't with bread or something like that. Because I generally know it's just not going to really have that. But, if you order fries, it's just going to be like that.
Yeah. I usually assume anything that's fried is automatically seed oils.
Right.
And what I'll do is I'll usually order, again, like you say, either a burger and just suck it up with the bread or get a steak and pay the extra money. And then get like something like white rice or potatoes on the side. Yeah. But like not fried, obviously.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. Ancat, did you have any other opinions on that list of women?
Not as apparently now.
Holy shit, your connection every time, like it's not every time, but it's like sometimes like you just have that like it's like a robotic kind of thing. I remember Justice was commenting on it. He said you sounded like this one song that I hated.
I have no idea. Bro,
you should know because it was like wasn't it that song that was just like noise?
I was on my mic. Well, I mean that describes a good chunk of my music taste, so I have to be a bit more specific.
A good chunk of your music taste is just noise.
Sometimes, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not really. It wouldn't be classified as noise, but people would respond to it as, "Oh, this is noise."
Greg, what do you think about music that's noise?
What?
What do you think about music that's noise?
Well, it can't be music if it's noise.
But what is it doing to you when you listen to it?
Oh,
yeah.
That's. I'm gonna save that for another time because that's a deep one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too deep. All right.
Which means there will be another time.
That is good.
There will be another time.
What kinds of things interest you in talking about on stream that are safe to talk about?
I don't know.
Yeah, he had a bunch of ideas, but they were ruined when you said that are safe to talk about.
Yeah, I think I killed that. I think I honestly did. You're gonna have to do Rumble.
You killed his creative spirit.
Yeah. Apparently I'm getting like some bit of earnings from Rumble now, because I had like some guy donate $5 and then Rumble takes a chunk of that. So I got like $4. But I was checking like the actual viewing like of the earnings, and I got like 4 cents. I think this is like revenue from like people just watching the streams or something. I don't know.
Damn.
I
It
thought
said like
They
Rumble
my
take
didn't
4% of.
yeah.
it says Rumble
crazy.
earnings $4.04 for some reason. I don't know where I got the 4 cents.
Bro.
But yeah, might just be ads or something.
Suffering from success.
4 cents later. God,
Yeah.
dude.
God, dude.
Juice World did.
Let's
He
go
did.
swimming.
Let's go golfing.
Let's go golfing.
You like rugby?
How do you guys feel about golf? You guys like golf?
Didn't you say your parents watch golf?
They golf in person.
Oh.
They don't watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. I the most golf I probably played is like mini golf. Done a lot
I
of
know.
golf.
Mini
Yeah, I
golf
played
is good
I
for,
played
like,
mini
dating
golf.
Stuff. That's kind of it.
It's good for what?
Dating.
Common date ideas like mini golf.
Mm.
You're
that is
saying
true.
dating, right?
You said
Yeah.
common date ideas, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
It
do
took me
yeah.
a
you think
second
I
on
was
that.
saying?
I haven't
I thought you
taken
said
a date.
commentate ideas.
I haven't taken a
Commentate.
date on I haven't taken any of my dates on mini golfing, but that sounds like that would actually be fun. Because I don't
Dude, that's
mind
not
mini.
very
I don't mind.
original.
I don't mind mini. I don't mind mini golfing. I just don't really like golfing in general.
I prefer bowling.
Really,
I think
I
bowling's overrated.
I feel like
It's
mini
better than
golf would be more.
golfing.
Mini golf though would be more fun than bowling. I'd
See,
say.
the mini golf places have better food than bowling alleys.
That's a fair point.
True, but also just the actual activity of doing the little fun mini golf courses. That's a lot more fun to me than bowling.
Yeah.
That's also a point.
With bowling, you're literally just fucking rolling a ball down an alleyway and hitting pins.
Now, see,
like,
but that takes skill.
I went bowling
yeah,
recently.
but so does mini golf though.
And
Well, I mean,
it was kind of
I know it does,
boring.
but I'm just saying, like, you're diminishing the idea that like bowling actually takes any effort. You're just saying, oh, it's just rolling it down. It
No,
takes
I'm
skill too.
saying I'm saying it's more of like a boring thing,
It is
I
like
don't
not
know.
as fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Like with golf, I mean with golf, and it's a lot more relaxing as well. You know, you're not
You
like
guys-
moving as much.
Yeah,
as your
you don't
arms.
really care if you're doing good in mini golf or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like you're playing the game to play the game, whereas bowling, it gets more competitive for some reason, even though it's really boring. And I mean, after like a while, it's just like,
And plus,
I
like
wanna go home.
especially, yeah, especially on like a nice day, like a sunny day, doing
yeah,
mini
you're locked
golfing, getting-
inside.
Yeah, with mini
Right.
golfing, I mean, you're seeing all the cool little courses. You know, you get to see the scenery. You may go grab a bite to eat. But that sounds fun as shit.
And the food doesn't suck.
With bowling, it's just
That
like,
is a fair
yeah,
point.
how about shitty food with a bunch of shitty people surrounding. Oh yeah, and that's also the other thing too, is that like bowling alleys are a lot more crowded.
Maybe I
Then,
should have said pool. I actually do
A
like
lot of
pool.
old people too.
Yeah,
I know
and
Greg
it's just
doesn't
like
like pool.
it's just like, yeah, maybe bowling might be a little bit more fun, and we're just fucking railing it. Actually,
I have been going to billiards places recently with my new guy I go to the gym with now, and it's not bad now that
You're
I'm
telling me
actually
you're
kinda
playing
getting the
pool
hang of it.
now.
A little bit, yeah.
really,
Yeah.
my
Actually-
my grandfather plays billiards.
I do think pool is better than
Is he
bowling.
British?
So
No,
then why
My
is it
God.
billiards?
Yeah.
I don't know. He just likes billiards.
No,
I mean, he
but
likes
why is he
pool.
calling it that?
Oh, I have no idea. Oh wait, no, because pool is different than billiards. It's
What's
not
the
the same
difference?
thing.
What?
Billiards doesn't have pockets. It's
What?
a whole different game. It's on a pool table, but it doesn't have pockets.
Oh.
So it's not a pool table.
Or yeah, I guess it's not. It's a billiards table. It's not really a pool table. But
British really just have
looks
to ruin everything.
but it looks the exact same. So I mean, kind of just without the pockets.
Well, it doesn't
And I
look
think he just-
exactly the same.
Yeah, so I guess I'm mischaracterizing what I'm trying to say. It looks near identical, just again without the pockets.
I think what we can learn from this is that Britain is just a constant L.
That is true.
Yeah, true.
British people.
Anyway, but yeah,
Quote unquote people.
people is a strong term. But yeah, I like pool now. It's decent.
What do you guys think about basketball?
Americans.
People?
Basketball people.
Basketball people. Don't be racist and say Americans. Come on. Basketball is played by people everywhere across the world. There's
Is
many
it
of them.
actually? I honestly can't think of any other
I don't
country
know.
that gives.
Is it
two shits
played in
about
Africa?
basketball.
Yeah, that's where it's played.
Is it? I mean, in some like makeshift basketball.
It's not even the real thing.
Yeah, like just tying up two
Rock
nets
and a
on a
fishing
stick.
net.
Yeah, like tying up two nets on a stick, and there are probably some inflatable balls in Africa
I don't think so.
can throw around.
You think they'd rather buy a plastic beach ball or like something like that as opposed to a ribeye?
Maybe it's just I don't know. They find it in like a junkyard or some shit. I don't know. And
You
I'm
think they
sure
can afford junkyards?
I'm sure in some sections of Africa. Well, I guess Africa itself is kind of a junkyard. So. Hey, not the people necessarily.
Bro's just going all out.
You kept digging a deeper pit.
I'm not saying anything, okay?
So you are saying that's the reason their monarchies didn't work.
Yeah. It's because they spent all their money.
To play basketball.
No, they spent all their money playing basketball instead of improving their economy. Because of their time
Exactly.
preference.
They should have been on
inherent.
the
Liege,
mindset.
wouldn't you rather spend your money on warships? No, can't you see they're playing the game? Sit down and watch.
Have you seen that thing where apparently you can like put money into Somalian pirates and like let them loot, and then you get money back on your investment if you do that?
Wait, what?
Bro, I've heard of this.
Fuck?
Like apparently you can like invest in that. Let's see.
How much do I have to invest?
You give them weapons with money, and then they loot. Hold on.
So investing.
Okay, well,
so investing in a pirating scheme.
let's see. Okay, so somebody on Reddit said that like investing in Somalian pirates, you can try this at home. Too long didn't read. Found a meme about investing in pirates and actually found a way to do it.
Okay, but
let's
like,
see.
here's the thing.
What's the
This is
minimum?
coming
I have
from
to
the
invest?
Reddit.
But he's
coming from
talking. He's
Reddit.
laying out this whole plan on here on Wall Street Bets on how to actually do it. But yeah, you
How
have to know
promising
somebody
does it
over
look
there, or
like?
else you're gonna get your money stolen. Come on, you can't just send them money.
Yeah, but even if you know someone over there, like, I mean, unless they're,
How many
you
people
know them very
people
well.
from Somalia.
What?
You just gotta meet somebody. You gotta contact
How
them.
else would you meet a Somalian guy without being the victim of a pirate raid?
Maybe you contact the guy that's trying to scam you via email. It's like, look, we can cook up something here.
Yeah, your email scams are fucking
I can make
are
shit
pussy
happen,
shit.
dog.
Yeah, I can
I'm a
really
guy
make
with
shit
money.
happen, and then you scam him. You get him
Really?
back.
How would you do that?
Well, you just say that you're gonna be partners in this, and then you backstab him.
But how would he have the money to give you when you're the guy with the money?
Wait, what?
He doesn't have money. He's Somalian. Come on.
Whoa,
No, but he's a
whoa.
pirate, so he's looting
Oh,
someone.
yeah. He's looting, right?
Yeah.
Looters, right? Am I right?
The robbers, the looters, the anarchists.
You guys seen those people that took all those iPhones? I mentioned this the other night.
Yeah, from the Rodney King riots.
Oh, yeah. When I mentioned it, like I was like, you saw those people that looted all those iPhones? You're like Rodney King riots. It was like we were talking with Esso, and he pointed out it's like iPhones during the Rodney King riots, bro. And I was like, yeah, I thought about that too.
Yeah, I just thought of like the first like racial uprising riot that was famous that I
From
could
Fox
think of.
News, Philadelphia swarmed by alleged juvenile looters targeting the Apple Store, Lululemon, Foot Locker, and others. I think that's it.
No, they love their Lululemons.
Yeah,
Dude,
they're
they're just doing it because they're fighting back against the oppressive racial injustice.
Let me look up iPhone Meatball because there was this lady named Meatball that got arrested.
Have you seen that meme of the black guy, it was in reverse order, but he was putting back the cash, and the caption was like, look at this generous man donating all this money into the cash register.
Yeah, did you see those?
Really
That mom
warms
with
my
her
heart.
kid Did you see that mom with her kids that like she walked them over to like somebody with a like a handbag or something, and like the little girl was sent over to like take it. And then
Yeah,
they
yeah,
lost
yeah.
in the mall.
Yeah, and then they
this
show and then they show it in reverse, and then it's like
Yeah.
nice young family returning purse to.
No, it was like a CNN article, and it's like, yeah, nice black family performs perfect moonwalk and then returns purse that lady lost to her.
the moonwalk bit is what really got me.
Exactly, because they're in reverse. Why else would they be walking backwards?
Hey, when you give somebody back
they're
the
just
property, you don't moonwalk.
They're just emulating
I
their
do.
hero, Michael Jackson.
Well, actually, I don't.
MJ.
Because, come on,
Right.
why would I moonwalk?
My lover.
Whoa, karaoke night.
Hey,
Yeah. Yo, MJ songs. Let's go. Let's hear your
Are you
karaoke.
ready to party, Ancat?
Am I ready?
Are
Yeah.
you ready? Are you ready to
Yeah.
get down?
Get down for what? Dun, 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 dun.
Bro, this is a
But yeah.
serious question, dog.
Yeah. Sure.
That's
Why
it.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
What other answer would I give? Are you ready to get down? What else would I say?
I see how it is.
Whoa, what the fuck, bro? What are you doing?
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm really down in the mood here.
All right. We'll bring it back up. Takeaways. We'll do that from this, and then maybe we can be so back afterward.
This was like the most unstructured fucking civil offense stream.
Welcome to the Sunday streams.
It was kind of structured, but yeah, it was more just fuck around stream.
Yeah, I could do more of that. Bring some people on.
Hey, it was fun.
You wanna,
Yeah, we
what do you
got
think,
we gotta bring Justice on as a foil.
What do you think Esso would be like on this?
I don't know.
Hi.
Probably fun. To some
Bro, when he was
extent.
high that was funny though. We have to have him on here. Like
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
He should only come on the Sunday streams if he's high. That should be a part of the contract.
You're talking about SpongeBob,
Sure.
and bro starts talking about. You guys remember that one SpongeBob episode after the movie when the seasons got really bad? Like nowadays, look at what they're doing. Like SpongeBob was like dragging his ass on the floor, and Squidward got his nose stuck in SpongeBob's ass and like inked in there. Like he was trying to pass this off as real. He was trying to pass it off as a real
you don't
episode.
remember.
And then
You don't remember that?
Ancat-
Were you not
Ancat-
there for that?
Ancat starts buying it. He's like, "No way, dude." I'm like, "Bro, that has to be fake."
Well, I was just thinking, no, like there were aspects of it that he was describing that I had actually seen in other SpongeBob episodes, like the dragging your ass on the floor
Right.
thing. I've seen SpongeBob characters do that. The ink thing,
Right.
I've seen SpongeBob characters do that. So,
Yeah.
like, and there have been like weirder shit in SpongeBob episodes, especially in later seasons. So, honestly, I'm not even that. I'm not even that like disappointed in myself that I kind of bought into it for a bit. But I thought for a bit I did. There was a part of me that was thinking that he was trolling, but there was a part of
Greg,
me
what
that
did you
thought it
take
was
away
kinda
from this
mysterious.
experience?
Mushrooms are better than most vegetables.
Actually, gay.
Except
Okay,
not.
Except
I took away
you're wrong.
that the Northern Indian women actually look pretty good. You know,
That's what I'm telling you, bro.
But also the Mongolian women. I wasn't expecting them to look that much.
I was
better
not
than other
expecting
East
that
Asians.
either, to be honest.
I'm
That
taking
was
away
crazy.
that you ranked exceptional East Asians way too fucking low.
Talking about Greg.
Just say that. Yeah, you.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
and Central Asians as well.
Well, Central Asians, that's like Afghanis, Turks, pretty much. It's kind of it.
But like, have you done the Google search? This is the question.
All right, let's do the Google search.
Afghanis.
Yeah.
Aren't they all like back in the kitchen now or
Oh,
something?
actually, you are kind of right. A little bit mid.
You know, funny.
Yeah, they're not great.
Greg, Ancat, you may get a kick out of this. After the takeover in Afghanistan by the Taliban, apparently there was this article written saying their 9-to-5s are actually causing them to burn out, and like the Afghanis of the Taliban are like quiet quitting because they didn't expect to have to like work all day on laptops.
Bruh.
Bro, it was all fun
you
with the
put-
boys until they had to sit back down and actually work.
You put Jews too high and you put light skins way too low.
Whoa.
Those are my other two comments.
What do you think about light skinned women in chat?
Are there even anyone? Is there anyone
No,
even watching?
no,
I've seen like
Ignis is
one
gone.
person. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured the stream would be a bit of a no-go because yeah, it's like niche diet stuff, but I don't think it's. I mean, if people are interested, I think they'll watch it
I
later.
suppose so. So are these Afghani women hot or what?
Yeah.
I have to look this up for myself. And women. Okay.
I mean, they're not horrible.
Yeah.
They just kind of look
First thing
odd.
I'm getting is like women's rights. Bro, I don't want to see that. I want to see the
Ah,
chick.
damn it.
Yeah, I should have figured that.
I don't want to see that shit.
Now I'm seeing is these women in hijabs, bro.
Hijabs are
Afghanistan.
cringe.
Model. Let's look that up. It's a good reference. I don't even see anything there. How are you finding anything? I see AsianWomen.org Afghanistan ladies, but this one's just like she looks like she could be on OF or something.
Yeah,
She's got, like, tattoos on her arms.
It's just your Brave browser, bro.
That's actually a good point. Let me look it up on start page.
Central Asians. Is that what you're searching?
No, I'm just looking up Afghanistan women. Did you look up Central Asians?
Yeah, but I'll search up
Yeah.
Afghanistan.
All right, I'll look up Central Asians.
Well, that's what Greg has it as. So.
All right. I should probably look up Central Asian women. You know.
Like, oh, you said it like it's a chore.
I guess I should.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. I see it. It's a bit mixed, but you know.
Mixed.
I mean, yeah, they have to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right. Well, you know.
I would put like light skin after the first two Europeans probably. Or after yeah, I would probably put it like European then adjacent then like then probably East Asian and then probably light skins. Maybe have those two flipped. And then probably Hispanics and Asians, I'd probably, depending on the ones, I'd probably just rank differently after all of them. And then do... Oh, actually... I would probably rate second to last
Probably
one.
what?
No. Whoa, what? Whatever you thought I said, I didn't say it. That's not what I meant.
So you didn't say rate.
I said rate. I'd probably rate them higher. Yeah. Bro.
All right. I think we're gonna
trying
wrap it
to
up.
apply for a job after the stream.
Bruh.
Well, they will. Well, I guess to be fair, they won't know who I am. That's why it's identity
They
secret.
have no proof. Only
No proof.
assumptions.
I'm using
And you know
voice.
what they
I'm
say about
using voice
assumptions?
modulators. So, ask you me.
Yeah.
You can
Ask
ask that of
you
you
me.
and me if you assume. Yep.
All right, boys. Well, that has been our Sunday stream for today. If you guys
Sweet.
got any last words, speak now, or I'll have to wrap it up.
Since there are no viewers, I would like to say the N-word, proud and loud.
Okay.
Nice people.
Wow.
That's
Unfortunate.
2 words.
Niggas.
Niggas.
Whoa.
We don't take kindly to niggas around here. All right. Well, remember, guys.
I would like to say the real N-word. Nigga what? Nigga what? Okay.
All right.
That is
Well,
one word.
I don't even remember if I do the sign out for this show for the Sunday streams, but remember, guys, that civil offense is the key to winning. Thank you.